Yoga wine. Wealth, when I generally speak about it in this segment, very rarely has anything to do with your bank account. It does, however, have a lot to do with the three mentors with whom I have studied for years, and they're the ones who will help you with such topics as time and money freedom. Peggy McColl is one of my favorite mentors, and she has written a new book called SAVY Wisdom. It's a really interesting book because it's a story. It's a parable. However, I know from working with Peggy, that it's a true story about her life. Peggy has not always been this successful. She is a New York Times best-selling author many times over, has very successful businesses. This book, SAVY Wisdom, is about a young woman, a high schooler at the beginning, who is sitting on a park bench and contemplating suicide. And Peggy grew up very poor, so has Bob Proctor, and Mary Morrissey had tremendous financial challenges. And throughout this book, Peggy discusses what it's like to overcome life's challenges, whether they be in love, in health, in finances. And that's what makes this book appropriate for everyone in your family. It's very easy to read to younger people. It's perfect for coworkers. It's perfect for your pod, your bubble in this pandemic. That's one of the strongest challenges about this book, is that you can use this book, every chapter, in dealing with our pandemic. Because I'm telling you, folks, the vaccine's here, but it's not going to end this pandemic. Not immediately. It's going to help us control it. In SAVY Wisdom, Peggy discusses so many topics. As I mentioned, love and relationships, time and money freedom, career choices, how to choose what you really, really, really love in life, and take baby action steps to achieve the life that you really deserve. It's only $16.99. I find that to be an absolute bargain. And evidently they're going to make a movie from it. So go on my website, ShayValerie.us. That's CHEZ, ShayValerie.us. You can access it there or send me an email and I'll help you. You can order it on Amazon. It just came out. It's so cool. It's in paperback. Yoga. Kundalini Yoga is the world's oldest yoga. One of the reasons I have practiced it over 25 years is there's a science behind the technology that they teach us. For instance, the breathing that you do is very important to your health because a lot of us don't breathe correctly. And actually, Mary Morrissey, with whom I study, her son had taught us a breathing method the other day. It's very simple, but it's very calming. And you can teach this to your young kids too, when they start having their temper tantrum or whatever, a teenager or your spouse or a coworker. You breathe in just normally, but down to your belly. And then when you exhale, so you breathe in through your nose. And then when you exhale, you're going to exhale through your mouth like you're sipping through a straw, but you're exhaling through your mouth. So that's to your belly. That's the exhale. It's a very calming breath. It helps you control your anger. The other thing I love about Kundalini Yoga, I have discovered some of the most beautiful music in the world, and it is specific to Kundalini Yoga. You won't find this music anywhere else. You're not going to find it on the radio. I don't think you'll find it on Sirius or Alexa. I don't know. But those are two things I really admire about Kundalini Yoga. And when you go to my website, shayvalerie.us, just click on yoga, and it specifically takes you to my yoga teacher in New York, which is where I've studied for 25 years. And you'll find all kinds of amazing information. You can sign up for Hara Prakash, that's her name, Hara Prakash's classes virtually. They're very affordable. But if you want more information, as I had mentioned about the Kundalini Yoga music, which will calm you, inspire you, guide you, just send me an email. I'm happy to help you out with that. Wine. I have to vent. I'm so miffed that French vintners have been dinged again with tariffs. This makes absolutely no sense at all, because these tariffs actually have to do with Airbus. This is a transportation issue. It has nothing to do with French wine. And it's this outgoing administration which has done this again. And it's nonsensical because it hurts us as the consumer. If you've been listening to my podcast, you know I'm a Francophile. I love all things French. I love French rosés. I love the champagne. Sometimes I like the food as long as it's vegetables. I'm a vegetarian. The issue is drink good wine. It doesn't have to be from France, but I will share with you two of my favorite stores in this area. I live in Gulfport, Florida now. I love Mazzarros. They actually carry a beautiful Spanish wine called Ostatu, and it's very affordable. They also carry a beautiful Cremant de Loire, and that's very affordable also. That's Bubbles. Both of those wines go really well with Mexican food. I am a Texan. I was raised there. However, I've traveled the world. I was married to a Frenchman. My cuisine is very eclectic. I like spicy food. Therefore, almost all the wines that I enjoy pair well with anything, like black bean salsa, black bean enchiladas, poblanos. Hungry. I love Mazzarros, and I love West Palm wines. They are actually in Ybor City. You can make a day of that if you're not nearby. And the only thing the owner, Jim Cerna, and I have in common is the fact that we both love French wines. Mark Lasky is the Italian wine specialist. He thinks Felsina is the best vineyards in Italy, and he's probably right. Again, when you're drinking wine, you really want to figure out the flavor profile. I always suggest you get 2 bottles. It's more fun. I don't know how in the heck people can buy 1 bottle of wine unless they drink 1 bottle every day. Yikes. But once you learn the flavor profile, you'll understand how to pair food and wine, because they do have complementary flavors. That's what's important to know. Your bigger wines definitely go with your more complicated meals. But again, I had a Prosecco from Zonin, Z-O-N-I-M. Probably comes from one of the big houses, the southernmost evil company on the earth. But it was a really good Prosecco, very affordable. They come in splits. That's fun. But Prosecco, almost any bubbles will go with spicy food. You can have it with Thai food. You can have it with German food. The idea is I want you folks to choose one of these topics to enhance your lifestyle. Doesn't have to be all 3. But I'm doing this podcast because I want to see people improve their lives. You start now during the pandemic and you study with one of these mentors. Check into my podcast once a week. Drink good wine. I can promise you 2021 will improve drastically for you. To recap, get Peggy's book, Peggy McColl, Savvy Wisdom, such a bargain. How to properly calm you down, calm your kids, or calm your spouse. Drink good wine. Merci et au revoir.